3,741. What's good? Oh, what is up, y'all? Long time no see. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, why am I here? I don't know. I was called. And, for those of you that work with energy or, aware of energy, that kind of thing, sometimes you pick up like downloads and light codes or frequencies. Sometimes you have experiences where like you pick up energies, energy dynamics, keys, codes, transmissions, motherfucking light codes, right? Downloads. I think I said that already. And sometimes when you pick something up that you need to share with other people, that needs to be expressed, communicated, put out into the world to bring like awareness or assistance, service to other people, what happens is that energy will start to like kind of nag at you, right? And the way, the sensation I always feel it in my body is kind of like anxiety. And, I got off early today and I'm sitting downstairs and it just kept nagging at me. Like, this anxiety just kind of kept building and building. And I was like, maybe I'll do a video. And, like, as soon as I thought that and started, like, taking action on that route, the anxiety's gone away. So I don't know what I picked up. I don't know what I got lingering in the ethers. But I'm here to deliver it, I guess. What's good? So I've already tried this a few times. I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking about. So I'm going to get a little help. Well, let me see. Who wants to help me? Help me. What are these? About these. What about this? Don't get my line. I opened up a dog grooming business, you guys. Hey. I own my own business now. It's pretty freaking cool. I always kind of knew that I want a business. I thought it would be in the field of spirituality for a while. But the way it played out, I mean, spirit's just instrumental in how everything played out. Doesn't even make any sense how divine it all felt. I was cleaning houses for like 2 years here because I was a vet tech or vet assistant back home, and when I moved here, there aren't any vets here within like 2 hours or more, something like that. So that really wasn't helpful when I moved here. Also, I had to get like my permanent residency, workers permit, all that shit. So I worked cleaning houses for 2 years and cleaning hotels, and let's be honest, like it fucking sucked, Like the best part about it was just helping people. Honestly, I was happy and humbled to help someone, clean their house, get things done, make the energy feel good in their home when it's nice and clean. That was the best part of it. But all in all, like, it fucking sucked because, I was on someone else's schedule. I had to do things the way they wanted me to do them. I had to be there when they wanted me to be there, leave when they want me to be there, they pay me what they want to pay me type kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they really had full control pretty much over everything, And that's the freedom that I love about having my own business is I get to do it my way, with love, with compassion and patience and connection, awareness, presence. I get to express myself, doing the dogs with their different haircuts and styles and bandanas and bows. And I'm really glad I was a tarot reader for 2 years because learning to read energy comes in really helpful when you're communicating with animals. So yeah, we got going on here? You know, 2 years ago, I was, well, over 2 years, almost 3 years ago now, I guess, I was struggling hard. Had no money. I had friends, but I always felt like the tag along. You know what I mean? Like, even when I was a kid, like, you know, I went to one school and then my parents split up and I lost all my friends from like elementary school. And then I went to a new city and started school there, and like I was in like middle school then, and they all had been friends for however many years through elementary school and everything. And I don't know, I've just always felt like this third wheel type, you know? And I never felt like I was really in any cliques. You know, I played soccer. I was on dance team. You know, I did a lot of shit with a lot of people. I went to parties and everything, but I don't know. I always felt like this separate entity. You know what I mean? Like different. And sometimes that made me feel like it was a bad thing. You know, for a long time, I tried to censor myself or camouflage myself, which I feel like Scorpios can be kind of good at, and Gemini. I'm a Gemini moon, so like I had this charisma to be able to kind of blend in wherever, but it never felt that good. You know what I mean? Always having to shapeshift into a frequency to be able to connect with other people, which really reminds me of an experience that I had recently. You know, I haven't met many people here because we've been in lockdowns basically since I've been here. So I went over to someone's house. It was actually a client of mine, which is really cool. Like, I be getting house calls, y'all, and they be like, hey, can you come do my dog's anal glands? Can you come cut my dog's nails? Right? It's pretty cool. And I just, like, go to their house and do it. Sometimes they offer me a drink, which is really nice. But, like, how fucking cool is that? Like, come on. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So, someone invites me over, and I could tell there was a lot of space between my frequency and theirs. I want to like talk about this, but I don't want it to be perceived in a way of someone being less than and someone being higher, because that is just not the energy, the mind space, the frequency from which I fucking view my reality. But I also understand that some people, they just do. And like, you know what? It did take a lot of work to be able to see the world from the point of view that I see it now. It did. It took a lot of heartache. It took a lot of heartbreak. It took a lot of screaming, crying on the fucking floor. It did. And not everyone is here to do that, you know, and I get that. But I went over to someone's house and, you know, like we had a few drinks, whatever. We were hanging out, listening to music, and just the weirdest fucking experience, right? I guess to me, because like, maybe I'm just fucking weird, y'all. Maybe I'm just really that fucking different. Like, whatever. I don't even care. I don't fucking care anymore. Spirit loves me. Danny loves me. You guys love me. But to me, it just seemed so fucking crazy. I'm gonna tell you, can I hype it up real quick? Dang. So this is what happened, y'all. Oh. It just blows my mind. So we sitting on the couch. I'm having my little drink, I had a little, like a frozen little slushy drink with some like tequila in it. And, you know, she's having her drink and she's talking about her kids. I love kids. I miss my sister's kids so much. I lived with her for a while, so, you know, we were very close. So, we're sitting on the couch talking about her kids, and she goes, you know, my kids are assholes. You know, do you like kids? I'm like, yeah, I love kids. And she's like, oh, well, my kids are assholes. And she, ha ha ha, like, laughs, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what you mean? Like, and she was like, well, if they saw you, like, I had my hair up in a bun, and, like, I had, like, two little pieces, like, dangling down, all cute, like. And I had, like, this crop top on, but I didn't want to, you know, I had to catch the vibe first. Because, like, if I, you know, sometimes if I show up, like, looking as good as, like, I can, like, it intimidates people. At least that's what I've experienced so often in my fucking life. So, especially with women, man. So, sometimes when I go out, like, I kind of play myself down because, like, I just don't want to experience that anymore. And I see that, like, that's probably, you know, I should never dim my light for anyone, right? But, whatever. You know what Spirit just said, it doesn't really matter what you got on because it's really not your beauty, so to speak, that triggers people. It's your fucking energy, this love that I am, this light that I am. It is triggering to people. But, you know, back to what I was saying, I had like this, I don't know, what are those things called? Gosh, I'm so not girly. One of them little things called that you put over your shit. Looking thing, right? Okay. So I had a crop top on and like this sweater looking thing, and I had it tied in the front so you could see like a little bit of my belly, but not like too much, right? And she's like, yeah, and I'm not quoting her because I don't really know what she said point by point, but she goes, yeah, they would talk about, like, why you wear your hair like that? Like, nobody wears their hair like that. What is that sweater you're wearing? Oh my God, it's so old. You need to get some new clothes. And, like, then she was commenting, I, like, kind of, like, tuned out a little bit after that. Like, I was kind of surprised, I guess. But she, like, kept rambling on about, like, all these different things and, like, pointing out these different things about me. And, insulting me, right? And I get what I responded back to her because she's talking about her kids, remember? And I responded back to her and I was like, so your kids are mean? And she kind of like laughs it off and she's like, no, but I think in that moment she kind of like, maybe something clicked, like, okay, maybe that is mean. And maybe I shouldn't encourage that. I don't know, probably went right over her head, let's be honest. But anyway, so that happened. And, you know, I knew it wasn't personal, right? Like, I learned, I have been beaten by the universe with love to realize that you can't take shit like that personal, right? Like, you really can't. You can't let it into your shit. But, even though, like, my energy pretty much does that naturally now, what was interesting to me is that it stuck with me, you know? Like, it kept coming up in my energy, like that experience. And like it was kind of annoying, but it was kind of like how I started this video where I was like, you pick a download up, you pick up an energy signature, a frequency, a vibration that wants to be heard or needs to be voiced. It'll agitate you, right? Your spirit begins to become irritated. That's how it feels, at least. Like the sensation in the physical body is like this irritation or frustration or anxiety, right? Or uneasy feeling in the body. And like it just kept sticking with me. And like just to be sure, you know, I had a talk with myself, and I was like, you know, don't take that shit personal, Brooke. Like it ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, you know, that whole little spiel with myself just to kind of witness myself if I was offended or hurt by that. I wanted to be present with those emotions. that didn't work. That wasn't what it was. And I didn't think it was, but I like didn't really understand why that energy was like getting on my nerves. So, then I just start talking to spirit like out loud, like I'm doing like right now. Just start talking and like telling the story, right? Telling the story of what happened. And what came through from kind of like revisiting what happened in that moment was, what was so mind-blowing to me, I guess, was, she wasn't trying to be mean. She literally was completely oblivious to the fact that she was insulting me. Like, she had no idea. That wasn't her intention at all. I don't think it was. But, I don't know. It was just really, really interesting because it really showed me the contrast of maybe where I was at one point, where I did mean things unconsciously. I said hurtful things unconsciously, and I don't know, maybe just putting a little compassion, in that space, and, sending love, because I knew at the end of the day, we were in very different places, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And one of my number one rules, or not rules, but way I try to live my life, is that sovereignty is the law. That's like the law of the universe, where I get to be what I am and you're allowed to be what you are, So I really went over myself and I was like, am I judging, her for being in a lower vibrational energy, right? And that didn't feel right either. But I could feel some kind of like judgment, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to assess this situation from my mind. And the mind, it only does black and white, right? It is duality in itself, is the mind, right? The mind sees in duality. The mind sees in lower and higher. The mind sees in good and bad. So I was like, okay, well, that's not going to work either. I'm going to have to like go about this a different way, So I don't know. But that stuck in my spirit for a little bit. And then like I just realized how far I've come, how different I am, and how that which makes me different makes this world so much more full of love, of awareness, of compassion, of intentionally speaking and connecting and being present with someone, right? Because if she was, really present, maybe she could have seen in that moment from feeling my energy that it wasn't a nice thing to say. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's my tea time, I guess. Well, maybe that's what I needed to share. I don't know. I am thankful and humbled that I don't have to live my life that way, even though I am human and the mind is duality consciousness. I live from a space that is above that. That there can be judgment, there can be differences, there can be good, there can be bad, but I navigate from this frequency of higher consciousness, right? Where there is unity in all of the different flavors of experiences in life. It was also a couple where And gosh, you know, I wish I could have this conversation without like talking about them specifically. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to like talk about them, but I want to share my experience because I feel like there's value in it, you know? So it's not personal, anything personal to these two people. Like, I'll probably still go over there and see, you know, maybe if it could work, you know, because the energies are so different. So here's another thing. With that experience, it was like I could see the contrast in frequency, in mindset, in perspective, right? In energy, you know? And there was a moment where I'm like, do I settle for this? Right? Because I don't have many friends here. Do I settle for building a relationship with people that do not have the same values and integrity that I do? And that's not based on a judgment, right? That's not like, oh, I'm too good for them. Like, it's just not. That's not the mindset or energy that I'm coming from. But it's just, if I accept that, then that takes up space in my reality. That takes up the soil from which I have to create from, right? You only got so much soil, right? So if you put this seed in and you start to tend to this, then there's nothing else that can go there for a while unless you dig it up. So I'm like, you know, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings either, right? And people are that way. But at the same time, like, you have to put yourself first. You have to put your growth, how far you have come to get where you are, baby, first, you know? And I could just sense the contrast in energy. So it's like, at one point I was like, so do I have no choice but to either lower my frequency to be around them, or they have to raise theirs? To kind of, right, co-create, meet in the middle, find balance in that connection. Because if there's not like an equal give and take of like, okay, maybe I'll dip for a bit, but you got to come up, right? Then all that's going to lead to is drama, is chaos, is bullshit. And you know what? Been there, done that. I don't have to do that again, right? So there was this kind of internal conflict in me where it's like, well, do I just give it a shot? Or maybe no. Maybe I just say no, right? Leave that space open. Trust that there are people here around that are more me, that I would really find value in those connections, you know? So yeah. For you parents out there, please don't teach your kids that insulting people is okay. Like, I'm a big girl, and like, I have been trained by fucking spiritual badasses, Jedis, not to take shit personally, but there are people that maybe haven't gotten that far yet, especially kids. Like, if you talk that way to an adult, then what are you saying to other little kids, man, that maybe don't even know who they are? Because that is where people lose the power to abuse you, to take your power, to dim your light, is when you are confident and sure of who you are. When you know who you are, you'll see that the attacks from other people, they don't penetrate your space. They don't begin to influence the way that you think about yourself. They don't implant these fucked up beliefs about yourself. You know, they don't slow you down anymore. That's where that comes from, is knowing who you are. But, you know, do what you want with your kids, right? But if you can, you know, maybe don't teach them that picking on someone's clothes is funny, or pegging on someone's hair is cute. Don't encourage, you know, picking on the way someone looks as funny or cute or whatever. Like, you'd understand if you were the kid that was getting picked on. You feel me? I don't know. Anyways. All of this talk seems so random, but let's see. Okay, so like I said, I really feel bad talking about these people. I'm not talking about them. It's just I don't know how else to share my experience. So then, oh God. I hope if you see this video, it is not personal. This is just what I've been doing for years. You know, I take my experiences and I turn them into value. Like, for other people, it ain't nothing personal. Much love. I love you. So then, sometimes it's so fucking annoying being able to read energy. You know what I mean? Like, so I realized that this person, that their view, because your frequency, your vibrational set point is really the glasses, right? From which you are able to view your reality, to observe your reality. It's a filter, right? Your frequency is a filter to your reality. And I noticed that, you know, their view was just so surface. You know what I mean? Like, my hair, my makeup, my sweater. That's what you notice? That's what you're lingering on? That's what you're commenting on when it comes to who I am? You know, it's just very surface level. And how I ended up in there, I don't. Because, you know, you got to think about, like, your frequency really attracts your experiences, you know. So I guess it was just really a way to see the contrast of where maybe my frequency was at one point. You know, and these people are, like, probably, like, 10 years older than me. But, hey. You know, being able to feel into energy, see energy, read energy, it's like this whole facade was happening on the surface. But if you're anything like me, this highly sensitive, highly intuitive being, you know, it's like these things are happening on the surface, but you're hearing a completely different story, right? It's just like crazy, I swear. That is how, you know, people talk about, like, you live in the 3D, you live in the 4D, you live in the 5D, right? That's what they're talking about. This vibrational set point from which you vibrate from that creates the filter to your reality. It really creates the, like, different dimension, right? Like, my vibrational set point creates a filter, and that creates a reality of what's happening. Your vibrational set point creates a filter that creates a completely different reality, right? We can be having in the same experience, in the same room, having a conversation, but your frequency and your filter is creating a completely different show, right? Like two TVs and of the same thing, but they're completely different stories. They're completely different realities. And, like, that's kind of how it felt, you know? And I just kept sensing this, like, control. Like, it was just dense as fuck, man. Like, it was just dense where, like, it felt like, and I heard a few comments that kind of confirmed my feeling, but these two people were in a relationship where her boyfriend, like, can't talk to females, I assume. Can't talk to their ex-girlfriends or there's like this anger, or they get mad or jealous if you talk to like an ex or someone of the opposite sex, like, and like I remember that in high school, I used to date this guy. He wouldn't even let me talk to my fucking cousins. My cousins! I mean, damn. Couldn't wear nothing but a t-shirt and jeans. Couldn't wear a bra because it pushed my boobs up. Couldn't wear yoga pants because it showed my ass. Couldn't go do anything. Couldn't talk to nobody. Looked through my phone all the time. Looking through my shit. I mean, oh, that was one of the most horrific relationships I've ever been in my life. Like, it was pure hell. And, like, you know what was the crazy part was those possessive behaviors, those controlling, manipulative, nasty, grimy as fuck, let's be real, some nasty shit when you're manipulating someone like that emotionally and controlling them like that. I don't even know where I was going with that, because that energy is just, whew, y'all feel it? It is dense. That just fucked me all up. But I remember that, like, I was so in love with him. Like, that's where I was going, right? Like, these manipulative behaviors, this control, this possessiveness, like I'm his possession, and the vibration I was at then, the filter from which I viewed that experience, saw that as being loved by him. He loves me. So he doesn't want me to show my body. He loves my body so much. He just wants it all to himself. And he doesn't want anyone else to see it, to appreciate it, to touch it, to, you know. And I just haven't seen that energy in a really long time. I mean, this is like, I'm talking like 10th grade. I'm 27 now. I'm talking like 10th grade. That was like 9 and 10th grade. That was like the relationship I was in. And I haven't seen that energy in a really long time. And like, it's still out there. And it's just crazy to me how blessed I am to have Spirit put me through the ringer of dealing with my shadow, of facing my addiction, of going through my trauma, my limiting beliefs, my self-hatred, you know, my resentments, my anger, my fear. Going through all of that was incredibly painful. But it's exactly what gave me the path from being there in that dense energy to where I am now. If I look at the contrast between, you know, my relationship in 10th grade to the relationship I have now with Danny, it's insane. I mean, freedom to, oh, when we first met, like, he gave me freedom to fuck up and then be honest about it and make mistakes and hurt myself and, you know, hurt him and grow from that, figure it the fuck out. And sometimes it was just really painful, you know. I'm free to wear what I want. I'm free to go where I want. I am free to talk to who I want. I can't do is like fuck another guy like that. I mean, and I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are on your path, Maybe you're in the part where it's really fucking painful, or it's really dense. Let me be the mirror to your success. Ace of Swords. The truth of what is possible. Burn up. Burning up in here. Oh my gosh. Fucking leather, y'all. I know this video is a little all over the place, but that's okay. Okay, I'm out of practice. But I don't know. I hope there was something in this that was helpful for you. Even if it wasn't the surface story itself, there's some nuggets underneath. So much love for you. You know. Unity's gonna be revealed for you. But yeah, I'm gonna peace out because I'm burning up. So much. And I love you. I'll be back soon. Empress of Duality, out.